All right, boys. Do you have maybe a 1, 2, or even 3,000 horsepower street beast pave ripping panty dropping son of a gun like this right here, and you need to change your oil? Well, you ain't gonna want to miss this video. This is Costino Garage. Well, it's crucial to keep maintenance up to date on your street beast pushing out 3,000 horsepower. It's a lot to handle. Baby needs to be maintenance. So, in order to do this oil change properly, first thing you have to do is get one of these big old mamma jamma car lifts. Now, sometimes they're expensive if you pay, normal way, or late night with your boys, you go to the local muffler shop. They just leave these things sitting outside. They don't bolt them down. Get a couple wrenches, get a couple of your boys' F-250s, load these suckers up, bring it back to the house. Hey, if you want to bring it back the next day when you're done, good for you. If not, hey, put it on the old marketplace. Let's go over the other things you're going to need. All right, boys, this is now some of the items that are very crucial for this maintenance, for this oil change. Now, you're probably looking at this table already and going, what in tarnation are these things doing to go with an oil change? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, let's start with the obvious. The Sawzall. I mean, come on, fellas. If you can't get that drain plug taken off, sometimes you just gotta cut that son bitch right off. You know what I'm saying? And if that don't do it, you could always monkey around with the wrench. Now, sometimes you get so irritated that you can't get nothing off of it, and you just go get the sledgehammer and you just start whacking things until shit falls off. You know what I'm saying, people? All right. Now, let's get on with the oil. Now, usually for a 3,000 horsepower car, I usually put Chuck Norris blood in with a little bit of unicorn dust, but Costco was fresh out. So I had to go with the old Kirkland synthetic 530. They say 530, meaning it's 5 cars worth, over 3,000 horsepower. This is what you want to run right here. Of course, you got the Mobile oil filter wrench. And if you can't get this oil filter off, well, that's why we got the crowbar. Rip that son bitch right off. Now that I explained all the tools, let's jack this sucker up and get to work. All right, now I grabbed the Sawzall, but I decided to use the wrench first to see if we could crack this loose. And look at that. She cracked loose. No need to saw nothing off. Now, since I'm a professional, I'll be able to take this drain plug off and not get a single drop of oil on my hands. All right, now I know what you're thinking. This oil looking a little dark, looking like a flow of dark chocolate. That's because this thing's got so many horse torques, it breaks down this oil so fast. Man, this oil's only got about 1,000 miles on it. So we're gonna let this drain. All right, boys, it's been draining for about 2 hours. I think we're good enough. Now, before you put the old drain plug on, you wanna make sure to grab your lucky rabbit tail, and you wanna give this a nice clean wipe down before you throw it back in the pan, all right? Now let's just zip on this thing, just like that. Now, I got superhuman strength, so I could just turn this and bam, it's tight enough, ready to go to track, hit 9,000 RPM. But just for the video purposes, I'll throw a wrench on there and give it the old tighten. And just like that, we were like peas and carrots. Now, before we throw some fluid in this bad boy, we forgot about one thing, the old filter. So now let's go and rip this filter off. All right, I'm gonna grab the old oil wrench here. I was gonna grab that crowbar, but you know what? I'm thinking we could get this with the wrench. Oh yeah, look at that, boys. She coming off easier than panties on the $2 Thursday. Let me tell you what. Nice. Now, you slowly just spin this bad boy till she start dribbling. I usually let this run for a while before you take the whole thing off, or else you just gonna make a whole lot of mess and you trying to eat your tomato and lettuce sandwich with all this oil in your hand, man, shit just gonna take right. So let's let this run. We'll pull this filter off and we'll slap that new one right on this bad boy. All right, boys, now as you can see, we got that oil filter off. Now, we got the brand new oil filter. Now, you can't just throw this bad boy on dry, you know, just like in the bedroom. You just can't shove this in dry, all right? We need to get a little bit of lubricant. So, you could just use some of the old oil, you know, old oil, new oil, you know, KY, either way. Just get a little bit of that dressing on there, you know, just like that. And then, you gonna just slide her on in. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now don't drop her now. You know? Come on. Sometimes she'll fight you. But remember, when they say no, they really mean yes. Now, just kidding, fellas. When they say no, they mean no. All right, now, we're gonna slide this in. We're gonna tighten it. Now, I got superhuman strength, so I can't go full tighten, or else I'll twist this thing up in a million pieces off 4,000 foot-pounds of torque. So, you want to do normal human strength, tighten, just like that. And look at her. She ain't nice. Now, you get a rag, and you wipe off all this little excess drippage here. And now, it's time to lower the vehicle and throw some fluid in this bad boy. Let's get it. Now, let me just clear something up real quick. Now, a lot of them online mechanics that seem to know everything more than everyone, they're gonna say, hey, you didn't put no oil in this filter before you screwed this bad girl on. Well, guess what? You don't need to. When you got 3,000 horsepower, high performance oil pump pumping 64,000 gallons a minute, shoot, it's gonna fill this up before you could say Gary. Now let's get this thing down and throw some fluid in. This is what all American Eagle flying horsepower looks like under this hood. You just missed it when I popped the hood. 2 bald eagles just flew right out. It was crazy. Now, this is where you're gonna go to put the oil in. You see this where it says SAE? That means super aftermarket engine, all right? Not all these motors have that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You're gonna pull this cap off. You're gonna go in the kitchen, borrow your wife's funnel. I'm sure she won't mind. And we're gonna throw some oil in this bad boy. All right, we grabbed one of these funnels from the missus. You know, she was probably just mixing olive oil or something in this. I'm sure a little 530 racing fluid ain't gonna hurt nothing. All right, this girl's thirsty, so we just pour it on in. This thing got so many hose torques. Man, it needed a whole nother bottle of oil on top of the first one. So we just keep on going.
Jethro, you put that funnel back in the kitchen.
Oh, damn. The wife caught me, fellas. All right, this bad boy took a whole 8 quarts, which should be enough to fill the motor and filter. Tell you what, we slap this oil cap right back on, and there you have it. All right, boys. Now, normally after you're done putting oil in there, you're going to start it up, check the dipstick, make sure the oil level's good. But normally what I do, once I throw that hot oil in there, I just take it down to the track, run 9,000 RPMs, and say, Jesus, take the wheel, baby. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any ideas that you need help ideas on your hot rod for the next video, please come down the comment board and shoot down some ideas. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Costino Garage.